Good morning.
My name is Chibomba and I'm standing in to represent the Permanent Secretary for Resettlement Division in the Office of the Vice President, Ms. Mavis Commission. But before I read her remarks, which I have before me, I would like to say a few things coming from the Department of Resettlement. I know most of you may probably have heard of only one resettlement scheme. Zambia has 96 resettlement schemes, of which Mayupa and Maheba are the only ones that are currently hosting refugees and former refugees. The program has been implemented in Zambia since 1988, and over the time, we've grown the number from one resettlement scheme to 96. In terms of our mandate, the mandate of Resettlement Division in Office of the Vice President is to resettle targeted citizens for purposes of uplifting their livelihoods and living standards, as well as empowering them through land in order for them to create their own wealth and create their own employment. Why do we do this? We do this mainly because land, first of all, is one of the factors of production, and when people have access to land, they have the means to begin to liberate themselves from the challenges that they face. We also recognize from the challenges that have already been presented by the earlier speakers that there have been some challenges in implementing this program. And part of us attending this very, very important meeting and conference, VC, is specifically to come and learn the best practices, the recommendations coming from the evidence that has been collected in the field. Would like to follow through. In terms of how we are proceeding as a division of the Vice President, we launched our business plan 2023 to 2026, which is focusing on 4 things. The first thing that our business plan is focusing on is the settler, understanding the settler in their full context. Are they a child? Are they a woman? Are they a man? Are they a youth? Are they living with a disability? And then deciding the right kind of approach that can help them uplift their living standards. Secondly, is that we are focusing on enhancing production in all the 96 resettlement schemes, including Mayupa. But obviously schemes like Mayupa, which have had some research done, will be the front runners, because there's already evidence we can rely on to implement some of these programs. Thirdly, is linkages. We want to strengthen our ability and coordinating capacity as Resettlement Division to ensure that the various services that are to be provided in the resettlement scheme are provided. Part of those strong linkages lie with how we relate with academia, how we relate with research institutions, how we engage the private sector, and how we engage other line ministries. And lastly, we are focusing on developing the human capacity of our staff in the Resettlement Division, as well as government-wide, creating the capacity within government staff to deliver programs that can create impact, not just delivering programs for the sake of ticking off the boxes, but implementing for results. So we have a strong focus on results, and this is the reason why the resettlement program in the 8th National Development Plan is now appearing not as a human development program, but as an economic transformation program under Pillar 1. And our focus is economic transformation, starting with the rural areas like Mayupa, and expanding this to the urban area, creating jobs along the value chain. So value chains are at the center of our work. In terms of our short-term, medium-term to long-term goals, in the short term, we want to ensure that as many Zambians as possible have access to land with secure tenure. It means that when you allocated land in the resettlement scheme, we also facilitate the process of you acquiring a 99-year lease for that land. That should give you the confidence to invest on that land. And this is why when I look at some of the challenges that have been presented from Mayupa, we are also focusing on ensuring that the former refugees and the host community in that area are able to access land which they can use for production, but they must have the secure tenure. That's our short-term goal. In the medium term, we are focusing on skills building. Skills building needs to be informed by evidence, and part of the work I think that has already been done by Copperbelt University and University of Zambia focuses on some of the skills that the settlers would need to liberate themselves from the current economic challenges. In the long term, we are focusing at mechanizing everything that our settlers do in the schemes. And this is why one of the programs that is very, very important to us as government is the Constituency Development Fund, with a strong focus on building the capacity of the grassroots to participate in the economy. I will now turn to read the remarks as they are, in the interest of time. The Vice Chancellor at the Copperbelt University, Dr. Lennox Siwale, the Dean of Students from the University of Zambia in Copperbelt represented, Dr. Mary Richards from the Brunel University and your delegation, whom I had a chance to meet in our office this week. Thank you so much. Other faculty staff from the University of Zambia and UNZA, the scheme manager for my colleague, Winfred Chibomba, I recognize you. My colleagues from the districts, that's my I think those are from government departments as well, I recognize you. Mr. Justin Munyaka, the project consultant on the SK, I recognize you. Ladies and gentlemen, the students present, I recognize you together with the media. So I am reading this speech on behalf of Ms. Medicine Commissioner, the Permanent Secretary in Office of the Vice President, Resettlement Division. Our government is in a hurry to collaborate on projects that improve the livelihoods of our people. Therefore, the work that the project consultant, the students, and the universities have done is very important to the resettlement program and government. As you know, resettlement is one of the divisions in the Office of the Vice President whose mandate is to resettle targeted citizens with a view to empowering them and giving them sustainable livelihoods. At the core of our work is resilient livelihoods for settlers through strategic partnerships such as these that include the private sector, research institutions, academia, and line ministries. For us, it's really important to meet like-minded institutions like yourselves and all the participants in this room for collaboration aimed at advancing our mutual goals and overall national priorities and goals. So I am deeply honored to host you. I'm deeply honored to be in attendance at this meeting today, to learn from you and discuss matters of great importance. You may also wish to note that there are 96 resettlement schemes in the country, sitting on nearly 1 million hectares of land, of which much of this land is not developed and is in need of exploitation. To us as a division, we believe the backbone to our economy are the smallholder settlers and farmers, including their host communities, refugees, and former refugees. We need to develop their capacity to participate in the economy in order to create development at the local level. Therefore, any assistance from research that would help our students achieve food security, alleviate poverty, and develop themselves and their communities is welcome. This conference is very timely, and I look forward to learning more on the SK project and its findings, and to understand the role of research institutions, academia, and other government institutions, and how they have participated in this program. Government, as you know, has prioritized the resettlement program as a vehicle for transforming rural areas and for promoting sustainable livelihoods in Zambia. To demonstrate that commitment, the resettlement program is in the economic transformation and job creation pillar of the 8th National Development Plan. As a division, we currently do not have all the answers on how to resolve the complex challenges of infrastructure, food security, livelihoods, and training, but we do believe that events such as this one can help us unlock some of those challenges. And I'm therefore hopeful that the findings from the SK project can inform my division on the role that students can play in channeling out appropriate technologies and information that directly impacts the settlers in our schemes. One of the division's top priorities is to bring the underutilized land in our settlement schemes, which currently stand at 60%, to at least 40% by 2030. That means ensuring that as many people as possible are attracted into the resettlement schemes and are empowered with the right knowledge and skills that can only come from evidence-based research. Ladies and gentlemen, government's vision is to turn resettlement schemes into highly productive hubs through strong partnerships with research institutions, academia, the private sector, and development partners. We recognize that one of the challenges that we are grappling with as a division is limited human capacity, finances, and appropriate exchanges that can help with mindset change. However, we are optimistic that programs such as this one and conferences like this one can help change the mindset of our settlers, including our staff that directly engage with the settlers on the ground. In conclusion, integrating baseline assessment, partnerships, evidence-based planning, youth and student engagement, exchange visits, and skills training, whilst emphasizing evidence-based decision-making, are key to making the resettlement program successful. Again, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Brunel University, the University of Zambia, and the Copperbelt University for this partnership and for the work that has been done at Mayupa. And I'm looking forward to learning more from all of you and to participating actively during the discussions. I therefore declare this conference officially open. I thank you.